get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, we need a motion and a second for the approval of the minutes of the July 2021 meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Any opposed? None. Okay. Under communications at this time, Mr. Elliot Nays will share some information about the band invitational coming up this fall. Yes, and he has some honored guests.
That's right, smart.
The Farmington Band Boosters will be hosting the 24th Annual Farmington Marching Invitational on September 18th, 2021. This event brings 3,000 to 4,000 spectators onto the FHS campus for a day of music and marching.
The field competition will begin at 1 p.m. with the performance of our very own Black Knight Marching Band. Currently, there are 14 bands entered. Bands will perform for a panel of judges and competition. We also feature a drumline showcase for participating schools. This year, SEMO's drumline will be performing as well.
The Farmington Band Boosters is integral in running this event. Our invitational is known all around the area for having helpful parents and a great hospitality room for bus drivers and other band directors. The chairs of this event are Jason Compton, Mike Powers, and Dean Beckman.
In September 1998, the first annual Farmington Marching Invitational was held in memory of John Beery. Mr. Beery was president of the Farmington Band Boosters the preceding year. It was his dream someday to host a competitive marching festival for high school parade and field bands. Since that time, the Farmington Band Boosters have hosted this event annually.
We would like to invite you to attend the festivities during the day. If you would like to assist in concessions, traffic control, or first aid, we'd welcome your help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Nays. Students, thank you. At this time on our information, our monthly financial is already provided. At this time, Mr. Rubel is going to share some information about ESSER.
Yes, with the American Rescue Plan Elementary and Secondary Emergency Relief Funds, also known as ESSER 3, the Farmington School District will use these funds to provide educational opportunities and resources so our students can excel in a safe and nurturing learning environment. 20% of the ESSER funds, according to federal law, are required to be spent on learning loss, which we have already identified expenditures for to meet those guidelines. We will continue to update this budget throughout the process, and again, to meet the needs of our students and staff. With the breakdown for ESSER 3, the funds for fiscal year, ESSER actually runs 21-22, 22-23, and 23-24. The budget will be submitted to DESE on or before August 23rd, which is the deadline for ESSER allocations and the budget to be implemented. And the tentative proposed budget expenditures will be as follows. Salaries and benefits, instructional will be roughly $1.24 million. Salary and benefits for nurses will be $0.56 million. Salary and benefit for custodians is $2.08 million. Technology, student, and staff devices will be $1.35 million. And approved capital projects or supplies will be $0.81 million. Total ESSER allocations will be $6.061 million. And again, this is basically a budget that's in the working process. We submit that, and the process, they will approve that based on those expenditures and the budget items. One of the things we've talked about with our executive team and our leadership throughout the district is, again, continuing to provide the amazing programs we have, throughout the Farmington School District, and ultimately supporting our students. And that's what we want to do with our ESSER funds.
Thank you, Mr. Rubel. This time, Dr. Kraus is going to share with the district safe return in person and continuity of services plan. Dr. Kraus, you're on.
I can barely hear. So
You're good.
Trying to watch it from there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the reentry plan that we have. We have had our reentry plan up for quite a while. We actually came out with a reentry plan last year, and it was pretty lengthy, pretty bulky, had a lot of information in it, and so obviously that was a great start for us and a place to go back to be able to revisit and refocus. All of the MAAA area superintendents met as a collaborative group together, had conversations with the health department. They met to discuss, review practices and protocols and anything currently that was coming out from the Department of Health and Senior Services, CDC, as well as local county. And basically that discussion was to come up with a collaborative plan on what we could do to stick together, be successful for our kids in the area. The plan is posted, like I said, on our website. There is a graphic that is shared that condenses a lot of the information, and most parents want to know about certain bulleted areas that they have a passion for, and so we tried to give that information in a condensed form based off of the phone calls that we receive within the buildings and with central office. So it's a much more condensed version than digging through, I think, about 34 pages of what the reopening plan is and what it goes to. We're going to continue to monitor and to review the recommendations, the guidance, practice protocol, look at what current reality is within Farmington School District, our kids and our staff locally, and what real numbers are telling us. As things continue throughout the year, we're going to monitor those numbers and continue to listen and meet with stakeholder groups. A lot of that is connected actually with what Mr. Rubel said, the ESSERS funding, and they have very specific strands that you must follow to support students, and it actually is pretty, it's pretty good stuff whenever you look at the supportive services for mental health and for academic learning loss and such, and the detail is a good guidance to start with.
Thank you very much. Dr. Krause, thank you. We need to have a motion and a second to approve the consensual agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. And now we need a motion and a second to go to closed session.
I move we adjourn to closed session to discuss personnel pursuant to 610.021, paragraphs 1, 3, 13, and 14.
Bowkey?
Yes?
Klein? Yes. Howard? Yes. Lawson?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Week.